Since the game Super Mario World has released introducing Yoshi, there has been tons of merchandise made of him, and today we're going to be specifically looking at the plushes that were made of him throughout the years. Now we're not going to be looking at every single Yoshi plush because there's way too many to look through, but we're going to be going through the main ones and seeing how they changed over the years. Now we're going to start off in the year 1991 when the company of Vic Tokai made this first Yoshi plush. Now for being the first ever Yoshi plush, this one's actually really good in my opinion. Because they got the shape of the body really correct, and they actually did a really good job making all the proportions correct on Yoshi, and for being the first ever plush of him, they actually did a great job with it. All the details look overall pretty nice, and all the details hold up pretty well, besides for like the eyes, because they're made out of a plastic material, so they could easily get chipped and damaged, and also since the nose is made out of a felt material, it could easily fall off because it's only glued on. But besides that, this plush overall is pretty well stuffed, and it holds up well over the years. And this is overall just a pretty good start for Yoshi plushes because it still even looks pretty accurate in today's standards. But yeah, next we're going to move on to Banpresto's Yoshi plush. Now once again, just like the Vic Tokai one, this one was released in the year 1991. And overall, he actually looks just really similar to it, except he's just kind of a smaller version of it. Because these very early Super Mario World Banpresto plushes were styled to be very small, so yeah, this is just kind of a smaller version of the Vic Tokai Yoshi plush. And for the style that they were going for, they did a pretty good job with it. The eyes could get damaged though, and the saddle on the back of him could also get damaged because it's made out of a felt material. And it isn't proportionally accurate, but that makes sense because they weren't really going for that style being like accurate to how it looks in the game. But yeah, for being a very early Yoshi plush, this one's actually really good, and the spikes on the back of his head could also get damaged because they're also made out of a felt material, so yeah, they definitely did make it out of the best materials on this plush. But yeah, overall, Banpresto still did a pretty good job with it, and you can actually still get this plush for pretty cheap on eBay. Now moving on, we have the Sun Arrow Yoshi plushes. Now there are actually tons of sizes of this one because it comes in like a keychain size to like a super huge size, so yeah, obviously these plushes all just have like different types of them. Now, I don't exactly know how many different sizes there are, but yeah, there are tons of them. But one thing in common with all these size variations is that, they all look pretty accurate and, pretty good. The only really bad Yoshi plush made by Sun Arrow, in my opinion, is the keychain one, because, it was made out of a lot worse material and overall just doesn't really look that good, in my opinion. But besides this one plush, the rest of them are actually pretty good because they're made out of a pretty nice material and they're actually really well proportioned and overall have a lot of detail on them, especially for the time. Because for how early on these Yoshi plushes were released, they actually have a lot of accuracies to them, and they actually look really good. And they also hold up pretty well over the years because they were stuffed really nicely, so they can't really get understuffed over the years, and they actually have pretty good materials on them besides for like the eyes. Because for some reason in the early 1990s to the late 1990s, every single company used plastic eyes on their plushes, which is obviously a bad detail because they could easily get chipped and damaged that way. Also, the shell or the saddle on Yoshi could easily get damaged because it seems to be made out of a very fragile material, specifically on the bigger sizes. And one thing that's really cool about these Yoshi plushes is that it actually has a baby Yoshi plush, which to this day is the only baby Yoshi plush that was ever officially released. So yeah, it's crazy for how early on these Yoshi plushes were. It actually is the only Yoshi plush to ever be made of baby Yoshi, so yeah, that's actually pretty cool that they made it in this set. But yeah, every single version of this Yoshi plush is extremely rare and they cost a lot of money. Now moving on back to Banpresto, we have this Yoshi plush that's actually a King Yoshi. And one thing that's really cool with this plush is that it actually has bendable arms and legs. And one thing really interesting about that as it's the only plush in this set and one of the only plushes ever made by Banpresto in general that has bendable body parts. And I wonder why they only used it on this one plush in this set and barely on any other plushes ever made by the company. So yeah, it's pretty interesting that they chose this plush for it, but I'm glad they did because it overall looks pretty good. And besides that part of the plush being bendable, the rest of it's actually really good and it actually is pretty nicely shaped. And the only really detail that could get damaged on this plush is the crown because since it's made out of a felt material and also has iron on it, basically every single material on the crown on this plush could get easily damaged and bent. So yeah, obviously not a very good material to make these plushes out, but besides that, the rest of it's actually really good. And this is also the only King Yoshi plush that was ever made, which makes this plush even more unique. And next up we have the Takara Super Mario Kart Yoshi plush. This one has an orange car and it actually holds up pretty well over the years, except some details like the wheel on the car could get easily damaged because they're only made out of a plastic material. But one thing that's really cool about these plushes is that the cars actually roll. And well, to this day, no other company has made a Mario Kart set just as cool as these because, well, no other Mario Kart set actually contains the carts with the characters on them. So yeah, this plush set is actually really interesting. But yeah, the Yoshi plush set overall looks pretty good. Yoshi himself does look a little weird because he's sitting down, but yeah, besides the proportions being inaccurate because he's sitting down, it actually looks pretty good. The only really bad thing about it is that this plush's eyes could be easily damaged because, well, since they're made out of an iron-on material, you could see by these pictures they just get cracked really easily. But besides that part of the plush is actually pretty good, and I would definitely recommend getting it because it's quite unique. And well, moving on to a very obscure Yoshi plush, we have this Color Me Yoshi plush. Now this was a really strange set of Mario plushes where you could actually color the characters themselves because, well, when these plushes came in the box, they actually came with coloring crayons specifically made for these plushes so you could color on them. And well, after you color on these plushes, you could wash out the color, so yeah, it's overall a pretty interesting concept for a plush. But yeah, without them being colored, they overall look really weird, except I would definitely not recommend coloring these plushes because, well, they're extremely rare, and because, well, once you color it, you have to wash it to get the color out, which would obviously damage the plush. Because, well, since these plushes' eyes are made out of plastic material, if you do wash it, it'll probably scrape up the eyes, so yeah, I would definitely not recommend doing that to this plush. But yeah, it's overall a very interesting concept for a plush, and yeah, I'm definitely glad that they made it because it makes for a very unique looking Yoshi plush. And well, you can still actually find these plushes in the box themselves on eBay and other websites like Yahoo Japan, but it's extremely rare to find them in the box, and they do sell for tons of money when they do sell in a box. And well, even outside of the box, they still sell for tons of money, so yeah, this plush is overall just really rare. But yeah, next up we have the Yoshi Safari Yoshi plush. And well, this is one of the more unique Yoshi plushes I've seen because, well, the tongue actually sticks out when you squeeze it, which is actually a very unique concept for these plushes. So the bad thing about this is, well, they haven't really held up well over the years. Because, well, over the years, the tongues have just kind of stopped working, and overall, like, you could even find these plushes without the tongue at all because, well, it fell off. So yeah, this is obviously a bad detail about the plush because, well, it could get easily damaged, and it's very hard to find one that works. But it is really cool if you are able to find one that works, and well, the eyes could also get damaged because they're made out of an iron-on material, so yeah, definitely not the best materials used, but it's still overall a really unique concept. And well, moving on, we have this taffeta Banpresto Yoshi plush. This is made out of a taffeta material, which is overall just a really weird looking material, and it's also very easily damageable. So yeah, this was part of a Banpresto set, and it's basically an exact copy of their original 1991 Yoshi plush, but it's made out of this weird material. It also has these like green beads as nose, which I overall really like because, well, they just make the plush look more unique. But yeah, besides that, there's not really much to say about this plush because it's basically an exact copy of the original Banpresto one. It's just made out of a different material, and the eyes are made out of plastic, so yeah, that's one good detail about it. Well, moving on to a much more unique Yoshi plush, we have this Mario RPG Yoshi plush. Now, one thing I really like about this plush is that, well, it's very game accurate. Because, well, almost every single detail on this plush is accurate to the game, so yeah, it overall looks really good and is really nicely shaped. And well, the only detail that could really get damaged are the eyes because, well, they're made out of a plastic material, but besides that, this plush is actually really high quality and really nicely shaped because, well, all the proportions are accurate and basically everything is great with this plush. It's also really well stuffed, so none of the details could get really deformed looking over the years, so yeah, that's another really good thing about this Yoshi plush, and it's also very unique. And well, the only really bad thing is that this plush sells for ridiculous prices, like upwards of like thousands of dollars. Because, well, recently I saw one on eBay sell for $3,000, and I've seen some more in the past sell for even more, so yeah, obviously this plush is extremely rare and extremely expensive. Well, moving on to another extremely rare Yoshi plush, we have this Mario and Wario Yoshi plush. Now, the game Mario and Wario is overall a pretty weird one. Well, they made this pretty weird plush set, which is actually really obscure and rare. And well, since this plush set is super obscure and super rare, none of these plushes are really that much known. So yeah, they're pretty rare, and well, they do sell for tons of money on eBay. Well, the Yoshi plush itself is actually really similar to like the Yoshi Safari one in terms of face details because, well, they're made by the same company. But yeah, just like the Yoshi Safari one, the eyes could get easily damaged, and what the bucket is holding could get unstitched from the hands, which is another really bad detail about this plush because, well, you obviously don't want that happening. But yeah, besides that, this Yoshi plush is overall pretty unique and, well, pretty good for the time. Moving on to a much better Yoshi plush, though, we have this Yoshi Story plush. Now, this Yoshi Story plush actually came in multiple colors, being a green one, a red one, and a yellow one. And I've also seen some people say that there's a blue one, but I can't really find any images of it, so yeah, there might be a chance that a blue one exists, but I don't know because, well, it might be just extremely rare. Because, well, I searched for images for a while of a supposed blue one, but I wasn't able to find it, so yeah, if you do know if a blue one does exist, comment that down below. And well, these plushes also come in multiple sizes because, well, the most common size is the big size, but there's also these smaller sizes, which also came in all the exact same colors. So yeah, the smaller sizes are actually worse in my opinion, because well, I don't really like it as much. The main reason why is that it's sitting down, so yeah, I don't really like that factor about it, and also could get damaged because it's actually a wind-up toy. So basically, with this string on it, you could wind it up and it'll start moving. So yeah, it's overall a pretty unique factor about it, but it could get easily damaged over the years, and not really much of them work anymore. But yeah, moving back to the big sizes, I actually really like them, and they're really nicely detailed. And well, in my opinion, the only really thing missing from these plushes are the pupils in the eyes. So yeah, for some reason, these plushes never came with pupils in them for some reason. But besides that, this plush actually looked really good. And well, all the colors have the exact same pattern. But yeah, they're all really nicely detailed and really nicely stuffed. Well, yeah, I would definitely recommend getting them, but they are extremely rare and hard to find. Moving on to our next Banpresto Yoshi plushes, we have this huge set of them. And well, just by looking at this tag of the set, you can see that there's 8 colors of them. Also, there's something really interesting with this set is that they actually came with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi figures on them, which is overall a pretty unique detail because it was only used on one other plush. So yeah, it's overall pretty unique that they did this, and it's overall a really nice detail that they added to the set. But yeah, the Yoshi plushes themselves are overall pretty good, and they're really nicely detailed. The only really complaint I have about them is that their arms are just very short for some reason, but besides that, it's actually a really good set. Because well, there aren't many details that could get damaged on them besides the eyes being made out of a felt material, but besides that, the plush is actually made out of pretty good materials and holds up really well over the years. But yeah, if you want to complete the whole set, it will be very difficult because well, even only finding one of these plushes will cost you a lot of money because well, they're just extremely rare. But now moving on to the next plush, we have this Yoshi plush with a Baby Mario on the back of it. Now this is the only other Yoshi plush that has a Baby Mario or Baby Luigi on the back of it, so yeah, it overall looks pretty good. And well, it was once again made by Banpresto in the same year as the other ones, and well, it's basically the Takada Yoshi from earlier, except with a Baby Mario on the back of it. Because well, as you can tell, it's basically the exact same as the Takada Yoshi, except the eyes are just slightly different on it, and it also has a Baby Mario on the back of it, which seems to be pretty nicely detailed. And well, overall, this plush is pretty nicely detailed and actually looks really nice, especially for just being a copy of another plush with another character on the back of it. Moving on to only a year later, we have another Banpresto Yoshi plush. And well, this one actually was a prize item according to the listings I found of it, so yeah, it's overall a pretty interesting Yoshi plush that actually looks pretty good. And well, it's mostly made out of good materials, except that the color of it is a very dark green, which I don't really like, and I think they should have made it a lighter green color, but besides that, it's overall pretty good. And now moving on to 1997, we have the BDNA Yoshi plushes. And well, these BDNA Yoshi plushes have tons of variants of them. Because well, not only do they have different colors of them, they also have different types of the same plush. Like such as, well, the green Yoshi plush has another variant just with red shoes on it instead of orange ones, which is just like a rare variant of the original. And the green Yoshi also has a talking variant of it, which actually came in a box. And well, it's extremely rare to find this plush in the box, but if you do, it'll cost you lots of money. And it's overall pretty interesting that they did make talking plushes. And I think the talking versions actually look better than the originals because they're kind of like fully stuffed instead of the originals being like fully beanbag. Because of all these Yoshi plushes have like beans in them instead of normal plush material, the only place that there was plush material was in the heads of them. But yeah, one thing really interesting about the black and white Yoshi plushes is that they were actually not part of the original Yoshi set. Because well, they were actually later released for Yoshi Story, and well, they are overall extremely rare. The main reason for this is well, you actually had to mail something in to get these plushes. So yeah, to win these plushes, you had to mail something in. You may get them sent to you. So yeah, they're extremely rare because well, not many people did that. So yeah, it's extremely rare to find even one of the Yoshi plushes, and to have both of them, you're going to need a lot of money as well because, well, they all cost hundreds of dollars. Moving on to the next Yoshi plushes, we have these Yoshi plushes with eggs hanging off the back of them. And well, I actually really like these Yoshi plushes because, well, they're overall pretty unique. Because, well, I couldn't really find any other Yoshi plushes that have eggs with them, so yeah, it's one of the only Yoshi plushes, if not the only Yoshi plushes that have eggs attached to them. And well, the only really bad thing about these Yoshi plushes is that, well, they're very delicate. Because, well, you couldn't tell, they're made out of some very, like, weak materials. Because, well, the eyes are made out of a plastic material, the arms are made out of a felt material, and the eggs are also made out of a felt material. So, obviously, these plushes are just very easily damageable. So, yeah, if you do get these plushes, I would recommend taking very, very good care of them. Because, well, they can get easily damaged. Well, since these plushes are just really old, they have a much higher chance of being damaged when you buy them. So, yeah, it's very hard to find any of these plushes in mint condition. And well, moving on, we have another Banpresto Yoshi plush being the Mario Party one. And well, this is one of 2 Yoshi plushes that were made for the game Mario Party, both made by Banpresto, and they were only made a year apart. So first we're going to look at this one holding a coin. And well, this one's also in a sitting position, which I don't really like as much. I think it would have looked better if they made it in a standing position, but besides that, this plush is actually pretty high quality. It's made out of overall some really good materials, and no materials on this plush could get really damaged at all. The only thing that I could really see getting damaged on this plush is that the coin in the hand could get unstitched from the hand, but besides that, there's no really details that could. So yeah, overall, this plush has all the details that it needs and is overall just really high quality, especially for the time. And it's also really unique because there's not many other Yoshi plushes like this that are holding different items. And well, a year later, they also made this other Mario Party Yoshi plush. Now this was actually for the deluxe Mario Party set, and well, this was basically the exact same thing as the last one, just bigger and fuzzier. And well, just like the other one, is holding a coin, but instead of holding a coin with one hand, it's holding a coin with two hands, and also it's made out of a different material. And well, but I'd say that this Yoshi plush is actually worse than the last one for a few reasons. For one, the nose pieces could fall off because, well, they're only glued on, unlike the other ones that were actually like on the plush itself, so that couldn't fall off over the years. Also, its shoes are made out of a pretty delicate material that could get chipped and damaged over the years quite easily, so yeah, that's another bad detail about this plush, and overall, I just don't think it looks as good. And honestly, one of the things I really don't like about this plush is that it just seems too fuzzy because, well, they didn't really execute it that well. I think it would have looked better if they made it out of a normal plush material. But yeah, overall, it's still a pretty okay plush. The coin is also made out of the same weird material as the shoes that could get damaged, and the coin's also like a bronze color. And I think it would have looked a lot better if they just made it yellow instead of like a goldish bronze color. So yeah, it overall just looks really weird because it could look like it's different colors, but I don't know which angle it is. Because well, when the coin's in a bright spot, it looks like gold, but when it's in like darker spots, it looks like bronze. So yeah, it overall just changes really weirdly, and it's overall just a really weird color to choose. And well, moving on, we have these Toy Set Yoshi plushes. Now, Toy Set is a company that's very similar to BDNA, and once again, these plushes are stuffed with beans just like the BDNA ones. So yeah, there's one thing that I don't really like about this plush, but besides that, these plushes are overall pretty good. They contain an overall pretty good variety of different colors of Yoshi, and their details are alright. They definitely aren't the best Yoshi plushes for the time, but they're still not that bad. I would say that the only thing I don't really like about these plushes is that the eyes on them kind of look a little weird because, well, they're really just like wide open. And also, for some reason, the top of the eyes has like an extra thick piece of plush material, which I don't know really why it's made to be there. So yeah, it overall kind of looks really weird on the eyes, but besides that, the rest of the plush is overall really good. Especially on the face because it's stuffed overall pretty well and it holds up really nicely over the years. And well, the only really detail on this plush that could get damaged are the nose pieces because it's made out of an iron-on material. And well, just like the BDNA plushette, this plush is very hard to complete because, well, it's not as rare as the other BDNA plushes, but this one's still extremely rare to just even find one of them. So if you do want to get the entire set of the Toy Set Yoshi plushes, it's going to be pretty hard. But yeah, moving on to the early 2000s, we have the Play-by-Play Yoshi plushes. Now, there are actually two designs of them, one having blue eyes and one having black eyes, and also in a slightly different position. The one in a slightly different position came first, and well, but overall looks pretty weird. The main reason for this is that it was based off of a Super Mario World design, which I really don't understand why they based off of the Super Mario World design, because that game came out 12 years before this plush was released, so yeah, I don't really know why they based off of that, because at this point it was kind of outdated. But yeah, the plush itself is pretty okay in my opinion. It's not really that good, but it's also not really that bad. I just don't really have much to say about it because it's just kind of a normal Yoshi plush, except it's just kind of facing one way because, well, it was based off of a very weird design. And I would say they definitely improved it on the second design. Because, well, in my opinion, the second design is actually pretty good except for the details on the eyes because, well, for some reason the eyes are fully light blue. Which, well, obviously isn't accurate to how Yoshi is supposed to be, but besides that, it's overall in a pretty nice position, it's overall stuffed really well, and it also comes in tons of sizes because these were arcade prizes. And well, the eyes on both of the versions of this plush could get chipped and damaged because they're made out of a plastic material, but besides that, it's overall a pretty nice plush, especially for the time. And well, moving on, we have the Sine Super Mario Sunshine Yoshi plushes. Now, this plush actually came in 3 different designs, starting off with the magnet design. Now, this one was just a really small Yoshi plush that had magnets in the arms and legs. So yeah, for some reason they decided to add magnets to it so they could kind of stick together, and they did it with the Mario plushes as well in the small size, which is overall just a really weird choice to make for these plushes. Because, well, there's very little any other Mario plushes that use this type of stuff, so yeah, I don't really know why they decided to make magnets in these Mario plushes as well, but doesn't really fit in with the set at all. But yeah, besides the weird design choice with the magnets, it overall looks pretty good, and the Yoshi plush overall looks really nice. And moving on, we have the medium size of the Yoshi plush, which is, well, overall pretty good. And you'll notice it looks very, very similar to the Mario Party 5 Yoshi, but I'll explain that later. But yeah, overall, this Yoshi plush is pretty high quality and is also really fuzzy because, well, it was made out of a really fuzzy material, especially compared to the original magnet version. And well, finally, we have the rarest plush in this whole set by far, is the extra large Yoshi. And well, to find this Mario Sunshine extra large Yoshi, you need a ton of luck and a ton of money because, well, this plush barely shows up, and when it does, it sells for tons of money. And I've only ever seen 2 people that has owns this extra large Super Mario Sunshine Yoshi plush. So yeah, if you do want the extra large size of this plush, you basically have no chance of finding it. But yeah, overall, especially for Sine's first ever plushes, they overall are pretty good. And well, moving on to the Sine's next Yoshi plush being the Mario Party 5 one. Now, just like the Super Mario Sunshine plushes, these came in 3 sizes, being the small size, medium size, and extra large size. Now, one thing that you'll notice about these Yoshi plushes is that they're basically identical. The only one that isn't identical is the extra large Mario Party 5 Yoshi plush that is slightly different than the Super Mario Sunshine extra large Yoshi plush. But besides that, these plushes are basically identical to the medium size. And honestly, I don't really know why that is. It just seems that Sine didn't really have a new design to make, so they just kind of copied their own design. And well, what I'm really surprised is that Nintendo actually approved of it, so yeah, they must have saw these plushes and just kind of forgot about the Sunshine ones, or just didn't really care, I guess. But yeah, the main difference between the Mario Party 5 plushes and the Super Mario Sunshine ones is that the Super Mario Sunshine ones are just a lot more rare. But yeah, overall, the Mario Party 5 ones are overall really good, and the extra large version is huge. And I mean huge. Look at this picture of the extra large one next to the small one, and that's just like to scale to see how big it is. And well, the extra large version is super rare, not as rare as the Super Mario Sunshine extra large version, but still it's extremely rare, and recently on eBay sold for $1,000, and that was one of the only listings that has ever been on eBay. As well, there's been very few listings of this plush on eBay throughout history, so yeah, this is probably the most recent one, and only one this year. And well, moving on to another basically identical plush, we have this Gosh Yoshi plush. Now, one thing I find really strange with the company Gosh and their plush set is that it's basically just a copy of the Mario Party 5 plush set. So yeah, basically Gosh's entire Mario plush set is basically just an official bootleg of the Mario Party 5 plushes. Because, well, they're basically just lower quality versions of them. So yeah, I don't know how Nintendo approved of that, but they still did, and well, now these plushes exist for some reason. And well, moving on to 2007, we have the Yoshi's Island DS set, which to this day is still my favorite Yoshi plush and as well, but also a lot of people's favorite plush set that contains all these Yoshi plushes. And well, the main reason for that is that there's just a huge variety of them, and they're overall just really high quality. And in my opinion, they're far better than the All-Star Yoshi plushes that they make now, so yeah, overall, these plushes are just really high quality, and overall just look really good. And well, for their time when they were released, they were basically the only super high quality Yoshi plushes that were made. And well, since these Yoshi plushes were released, I can't really think of any other Yoshi plushes that were kind of better than these, so yeah, these seem to still be, in my opinion, the best Yoshi plushes that were made. But yeah, I would definitely recommend getting this set because it was very possible to collect the entire set, and yeah, they're overall just really high quality and great plushes. And well, next we have the Goldie Yoshi plush, which overall looks pretty strange in my opinion, especially for the nose. And the main reason for that is the nose is just overall just a really weird shape in my opinion on some of them, because well, some of them look normal, but some others have like octagon shaped noses for some reason. Because but for some reason on the bottom and like the top and the middle, they all have like points on them sometimes. So yeah, so overall just a really weird design choice, and it seems to have bad quality control. And also the arms on this plush are overall really weird because they're for some reason like really long and also just really well stuffed. So yeah, they overall just look really weird because he's just overall standing in a really weird position that doesn't seem really natural for Yoshi to be in. And overall, in my opinion, this plush of Yoshi just doesn't really look that accurate, and it's overall just really strange. Moving on to some better Yoshi plushes, we have the new Super Mario Bros. Wii Yoshi plushes. Now there's 4 of them, being the green one, the pink one, the yellow one, and the light blue one. And well, overall, they're basically the exact same plush, but just different colors, and well, they're overall just really high quality, but not as high quality as the DS ones. And well, they're basically just bigger sizes of the DS ones, because well, they basically use the exact same pattern, except they're just slightly bigger. And well, in my opinion, they're still pretty good and some of the best Yoshi plushes that were made. The only thing that I really don't like about these plushes is that the legs seem to be too short for the bodies. Because well, the legs on this plush overall just seem to be really short, not accurate to how they're supposed to be. And I think they should have made them a little longer, but besides that, these plushes are actually really good. And well, moving on, we have the Jakks Pacific Yoshi plushes. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that the Jakks Pacific Yoshi plush looks very similar to the Goldie one. as it seems to just be a smaller version of the Goldie plush because, well, it just seems to be slightly smaller than it because, well, there's a lot of similarities with them, especially on the arms and the legs. And also with the eyes because, well, they just overall look really similar, and when I first got into collecting, I actually thought they were the exact same plush for a while. And it just seems that Jakks Pacific made it slightly higher quality than the Goldies and made it overall just a little better, like, stuffed. And they also added 2 other colors to the original set, being the blue and the pink one. And well, the weird thing about the blue and the pink one is that they're actually a lot rarer than the original green one. The reason for that is that the green one was re-released, but the other 2 colors weren't, so yeah, the blue and pink Yoshis are actually really rare now. Also, another thing that confuses me is that the blue one for some reason came with a green Yoshi tag instead of a blue Yoshi tag, which is overall just really strange, especially because the pink Yoshi came with a pink Yoshi tag. But yeah, overall, these plushes just seem really weird, and overall, I would definitely recommend getting the Sine ones instead because, well, they're overall just more high quality. And well, the next up we have another low quality Yoshi plushie being the Good Stuff one. Now I 100% know why that these Yoshi plushes are low quality because, well, they're meant to be arcade prizes because, well, you could basically find these in arcade machines and other stuff like that, like carnivals. So obviously these Yoshi plushes are very cheaply made, so they could fall apart just really easily, and a lot of times when you see these plushes, they are like missing stitching on them because, well, they're just really cheaply made and usually have bad quality control, especially on the face because, well, sometimes they just all look different because, well, they're just differently stuffed. So yeah, it just seems to be another cheaply made Mario plush set that just, well, makes sense because, well, they're supposed to be arcade prizes, so yeah, they're just kind of like mass produced. But now moving on to another extremely high quality plush set, we have the All-Star Yoshi plushes. Now, just like the DS set, this one has tons of colors and even more variety than the original DS set, but I still think the DS set is better. And well, the main reason for that is just like, if you look at the All-Star Yoshi plushes, you just see that they just look a little off. And the main reason for that is that the legs are just facing just like too far apart, so yeah, they overall just looks really weird in my opinion. Because, well, the original DS ones looked a lot better because, well, they were just overall just nicely shaped, while these ones just look slightly different and, well, they overall just don't really look as nice. And they're also for some reason a lot bigger, so yeah, that makes the details just look worse in my opinion because they made it so the plush takes up more space, but overall they just didn't really execute it that good in my opinion. But yeah, don't get me wrong, these plushes are still really good because, well, they overall are just really high quality, but yeah, definitely not as good as the DS ones. And well, now we're moving on to the most modern Yoshi plushes being the Super Nintendo World ones. Now, Super Nintendo World actually has a few ones, starting off with the shiny Yoshi plush. Because, well, for some reason it uses the shiny material, which is actually very soft from what I could tell. So yeah, this plush is actually really nice looking and overall just really cool detail to add to these plushes. It also comes in a keychain version and a big version. And they also have this Yoshi plush that has a huge string on the back of it. I don't really have a definite reason on why they have strings on them because, well, from what I could find, they kind of like say that you wear them on your back, but I don't really have a definite answer because, well, that was just from one source. And well, they also made this normal version of the Yoshi plush, which is in my opinion the best one from Super Nintendo World because, well, it's just your normal Yoshi plush and they overall did a pretty good job making it. And it overall looks pretty high quality, especially because it's a normal size, but it also comes in a keychain version. So yeah, out of every single one of these Yoshi plushes, which is your favorite? Comment that down below and yeah, have a great day.